Good afternoon, and welcome to P. Dunham Reports Black History. This channel used to be known as D's Crazy Vids, which that is no longer. So I changed my format because I got tired of getting my videos flagged from YouTube. And if if you guys want to unsubscribe, which I hope you don't, feel free to do so. But this is now called P. Dunham Reports Black History. And my first video on regarding Black history is going to be on this man you see right here. This is the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who was who was an American Baptist minister and activist who became the most visible spokesperson and leader in the civil rights movement from 1954 until his death in 1968. King is best known for advancing civil rights through nonviolence and civil disobedience tactics. His Christian beliefs in the nonviolent activism of Mahatma Gandhi helped inspire. King led the 1955 bus boycott and in 1957 became the first president of the Southern Christian Conference, and he led an unsuccessful 1962 struggle against segregation in Albany, Georgia, and helped organize the nonviolent 1963 protests in Birmingham, Alabama. He also helped organize the 1963 March on Washington, where he delivered his famous I Have a Dream speech on October 14, 1964, which is the day I was born. Same day, same month, same year. Dr. King won the Nobel Peace Prize for combating racial inequality through nonviolent resistance. In 1965, he helped organize the Selma to Montgomery marches. The following year, he and the SCLC took the movement north to Chicago to work on segregated housing. In his final years, he expanded the focus to include opposition towards poverty and the Vietnam War. He alienated many of his liberal allies with the 1967 speech titled Beyond Vietnam. J. Edgar Hoover considered him a radical and made him an object of the FBI's COINTELPRO from 1963 and on. FBI agents investigated him for possible communist ties, recorded his extramarital liaisons, and reported on them to government officials, and on one occasion mailed King a threatening anonymous letter which he interpreted as an attempt to make him commit suicide. In 1965, King was planning on a national occupation in Washington, D.C. to be called the Poor People's Campaign when he was assassinated on April 4th in Memphis, Tennessee. His death was followed by riots in many U.S. cities. Allegations that James Earl Ray, the man convicted of killing King, had been framed or acted in concert with government agents persisted for decades after the shooting. He was posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom and the Congressional Gold Medal. Martin Luther King Jr. Day was established as a holiday in numerous cities and states beginning in 1971 and as a U.S. federal holiday in 1986. Hundreds of streets in the U.S. have been renamed in his honor, and a county in Washington State was also rededicated for him. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. was dedicated in 2011. You know, one thing I want to say uh, about them naming some, a lot of cities uh, naming the street after Dr. King, but they put his name on some of these neighborhoods that are very poor and very violent neighborhoods where they have this man's name on some of these city streets in dire straits neighborhoods, very bad crime, big time. Dr. King did not. May I repeat, he did not had anything to do with this because he believed in nonviolence. So I think they did this to put this man's name in vain. because I'm pretty sure Dr. King would not be happy with what's going on with his name on some of these city streets here in this country, and to make it look like he promoted violence, in which he did not. Okay. Um, Early life and education. King was born on January 15th, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia, to the Reverend Martin Luther King Sr. and Alberta Williams King. A lot of people don't know this. Uh, his father and him changed their name. They were both born. His father was born as Michael King, and Martin Luther King Jr. name was also Michael King Jr. See, a lot of people don't know that. And also too, Dr. King was also a Republican. His whole family were Republican. Okay. And after a gradual transition on the elder King's part, he changed both his and his son's names in 1934. The elder King would later state that Michael was a mistake by the attending physician to his son's birth, and the youngest King's birth certificate was altered to read Martin Luther King Jr. in 1957. King's parents were both African American, and he also had Irish ancestry through his paternal great grandfather. King was a middle child, joined older sister Christine King Ferris and younger brother A.D. King. King sang with his church choir at the 1939 Atlanta premiere of the movie Gone with the Wind. He enjoyed singing music. His mother was an accomplished organist and choir leader who took him to various churches to sing, and he received attention for singing I Want to Be More and More Like Jesus. King later became a member of the junior choir in his church. All right. When King was a child, he befriended a white boy whose father owned a business near his family's home where the boys were 6. They started school. King had to attend a school for African Americans, and the other boy went to one for whites. Among the facilities segregated by state law, King lost his friend because the child's father no longer wanted the boys to play together. Amazing. King suffered from depression through much of his life. In his adolescent years, he initially felt resentment against whites due to the racial humiliation that his family, and his neighbors had to endure in the segregated South. And at the age of 12, shortly after his maternal grandmother died, King blamed the second story window but survived. Now that's new. That's something I didn't know. King was initially skeptical of Christianity's claim. At the age of 13, he denied the bodily resurrection of Jesus during Sunday school. From this point, he stated, doubts began to spring forth unrelentingly. However, he later concluded that the Bible has profound truths which one cannot escape, and decided to enter the seminary. Growing up in Atlanta, King attended Booker T. Washington High School. He became known for his public speaking ability and was part of the school's debate team. When King was 13 in 1942, he became the youngest assistant manager of a newspaper delivery station for the Atlanta Journal. During his junior year, he won first prize in an oratorical contest sponsored by the Negro Elks Club in Dublin, Georgia. On the ride home to Atlanta by bus, he and his teacher were ordered by the driver to stand so that white passengers could sit down. King initially refused but complied after his teacher told him that he would be breaking the law if he did not submit. During this incident, King said that he was the angriest that he's ever been in his life. An outstanding student, he skipped both the 9th and 12th grades of high school. During King's junior year in high school, Morehouse College, a respected historically black college, announced that it would accept any high school juniors who could pass its entrance exam. At the time, many students had abandoned further studies to enlist in World War II. Due to this, Morehouse was eager to fill its classrooms at the age of 15. King passed the exam and entered Morehouse. Some before his last year at Morehouse, in 1947, the 18-year-old King chose to enter the ministry. He had concluded that the church offered the most assuring way to answer the inner urge to serve humanity. King's inner urge had begun developing, and he made peace with the Baptist church as he believed he would be a rational minister with sermons that were a respectful force for ideas, even social protests. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna bypass some of this stuff here. Um, but during King's junior year in high school, okay, yeah. So I already went through that already. All right, in 1948, King graduated at age 19 from Morehouse with a BA in sociology. He then enrolled in Crozier Theological Seminary in Chester, Pennsylvania, for which he graduated with a B. I can't even read this out. Which he got a bachelor's, I think, a BDiv. Yeah, I can't read that out. But he received another degree in 1951. King's father fully supported his decision to continue his education. Okay. Uh, while attending Crozier, King was joined by Walter McCall, a former classmate at Morehouse. At Crozier, King was elected president of the student body. The African American students of Crozier, for the most part, conducted their social activity on Edward Street. King became fond of the street because a classmate had an aunt who prepared collard greens for them, which they both relished. All right. All right, and now I'm going to fast forward. King married Coretta Scott on June 18, 1953, on the lawn of her parents' house in her hometown in Heiberger, Alabama. They became the parents of 4 children. Yolanda King, who was born in 1955, she passed a little over 11 years ago. Then you got Martin Luther King III. He was born in 1957. Dexter Scott King, who's the next one, was born in 1961. And Bernice King, who's the youngest of the girls, she was born in 1963. During their marriage, King limited Coretta's role in the civil rights movement, expecting her to be a housewife and mother. At age 25 in 1954, King was called as pastor of the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. Okay. All right. Well, King, he received his PhD degree on June 5th, 1955, with a dissertation initially supervised by Edgar Brightman, and upon the latter death by Lowland Harold DeWolf, and some other stuff here. He also worked as an assistant minister at Boston's 12th Baptist Church. Okay, decades later, as academic inquiry on October 1991 concluded that portions of his dissertation has been plagiarized and he had acted properly. I don't know what they're talking about right here. But we're gonna fast forward and we're gonna go to the Montgomery bus boycott. All right. In March of 1955, Claudette Colvin, a 15-year-old black schoolgirl in Montgomery, refused to give her bus seat to a white man in violation of the Jim Crow laws. Local laws in the southern United States that enforce racial segregation. King was on the committee from the Birmingham African American community that looked into the case. E.D. Nixon and Clifford Durr decided to wait for a better case to pursue because the incident involved a minor. 9 months later, on December 1st, 1955, a similar incident occurred when Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give her seat on a city bus. The 2 incidents led to the Montgomery bus boycott, which was urged and planned by Nixon and led by King. The boycott lasted for 385 days, and the situation became so tense that King's house was bombed. King was arrested during this campaign, which concluded with the United States District Court ruling in Browder versus Gale that ended racial segregation on all Montgomery public buses. King's role in the bus boycott transformed him into a national figure and the best known spokesman of the civil rights movement. All right. Okay. But as people know, like I said earlier, a lot of black people didn't know this, but Dr. King was not a Democrat, but he was a Republican, and like I said, his whole family were Republicans, and uh, we have to know this. Not all black folks are Democrats. Me myself, I'm not a Democrat nor a Republican, but Democrats, they really do nothing. They actually they promote more. They promote poverty. If you think about it, they actually do, and that's why I kind of I kind of admire Dr. King, because a lot of you black folks always, a lot of you don't even know why you're a Democrat. A lot of you don't even know why. You're a Democrat because this black person is a Democrat, and the only reason why I'm going off base. The only reason why that can't even think of the president, but he signed the Lyndon B. Johnson. He only signed that civil rights bill just to get the black vote. So don't think, black folks, that Democrat, just like Republicans aren't your friends, Democrats aren't your friends either. So this just the proof point. Not all black folks are Democrats, and black people, you've been voting for Democrats for over 50 plus years, and it's still they haven't done anything. We're no better off today than it was 50 plus years ago. But despite the fact, this man he didn't believe in doing things violently, but I think because I was a little kid when this was going on, when Dr. King was around. I was just a baby, and I don't think I could have did the things that he done, walking out there like that, get beat upside the head, getting stuff thrown at you, having dogs sicked on you, and him, and but there were some white folks that was out there too, right along with Dr. King doing these peaceful marches. So a lot of white people were beat up and injured too, because they were fighting for the rights of African Americans. So I don't know if I would have been a grown up during the days. I probably wouldn't have done what they did. I probably would have fight back with violence. But he was saying violence on top of violence doesn't get you anywhere. So I had to look at it like that. Just tell me how you like the video. If you like the video, thumbs it up. If you don't like the video, thumbs it down. Leave a comment, but no name calling. You come on there, you come on my page and on my channel or whatever, and you start all this name calling crap and all that. I'll just delete your comment and I'll just block you. I don't have time, but I'm just trying to educate people to the best of my ability. Okay. Anyway, Don't forget to subscribe. And like I said, my subscribers that was on my old platform. I hope you guys don't unsubscribe, but if you do, I understand. And like I said, I got tired of YouTube flagging my videos and stuff all the time. That got kind of old. I just got tired of it. But anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, thumbs the video up or thumbs it down. And until the next time, y'all take care.